Hey everybody, it's Roger King. Thanks so much for joining me here in Cincinnati, Ohio, downtown, across from the Great American Ballpark. And I'm on a short little vacation here. I'm seeing some family, but welcome to the Real Estate Investing Evolution YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about the joint venture agreement wish list. So I just want to remind you guys, if you could hit subscribe below, I'd certainly appreciate it. We're jumping into a bunch of different things. I want to keep this pretty short today, but I had a coaching student call me up the other day, and he was trying to buy his first house. He's still trying to buy his first house, which is awesome. And it takes a bunch of steps. You got to go through quite a few different phases. You know, you set up your business, your LLC in his instance. You've got to start making some connections with people who you may either borrow money from or hire to do the contracting work, or whatever it is you need to find. You have to find people to do business with. And in this particular scenario in Southern California, my friend had found an investor who was also a contractor, and he wanted to do some more fix and flips. He was going to bring some capital to the project. My friend is going to bring some capital to the project. And because this is my friend's very first fix and flip project that he's trying to get into, he has, to go through sort of this learning curve, as we all go through, and understand, when you're partnering with somebody, if you're going to do a joint venture with somebody, what are the particular things in that joint venture agreement that you need to really get sussed out? And so what I've done is I've figured out sort of a very quick list for those people who find yourselves in a very similar situation. And that is, it's your first fix and flip. And so what you want to do is sort of create this little list of things that are must-haves for you. Like, it must be in a 20-mile radius, or it must be within your state if you're adventuresome. If you're in Southern California and you want to do a fix and flip project up in San Francisco, I may urge against that unless you've got some other skills or you're traveling there frequently. So you need to determine, your distance, obviously the price point of the home, either the after repair value or the current asking price. Maybe you don't want to do an entire gut. Maybe you just want to do a cosmetic refresh. So you have to really figure out what it is that you're willing and able, qualified, and have time to do. So those are all different things that we're trying to sort out before we start the conversations with any of your partners, any of the GCs, your lenders. All of those things really have to get sorted out in your mind. Write them down. Really take some time. Spend a couple of hours and really just focus on, I know I can do a $700,000 fix and flip that'll get me into a $1.2 million house. Or I know that I've got X number, hundreds of thousands of dollars that I can sink into this investment, but I also need somebody that can do the work for me because I work a day job. So I've got to either hire or partner with a contractor who has depth in fixing and flipping properties, that they know what they're going to do because they've done it before. Or maybe you find a lender, a hard money lender for the purchase money, and you've got enough money for the renovations. All of these things are really important for you to get sorted out way before you start having a lot of the conversations. Certainly, you can start having conversations, but don't enter into any agreements until you know what you can do, you know what you can't do, you know what you want to do, and you know what you don't want to do. I think that those are really helpful things for you to focus on. So when you're starting to have these conversations with people, you really want to make sure that you're having very crystal clear communication. And that means going into some, 30,000 foot views and then getting into the 4,000 foot view. And then you're going to want to go, look, we're having the discussion right now. How much money are you going to contribute? Dollars, How much time are you going to contribute? Hours or months or year? Or, how much experience do you have, and how many people are you going to subcontract out the work to? You want to really start having those specific conversations. And you're going to refer back to your must-have list, your wish list of really how I want to operate. And you want to get a lot of clarity, and you want to start developing what your joint venture agreement is going to look like. And referring back to my friend, I know that he has been telling one of his people that he was going to partner with, look, you need to make sure that you're not putting a premium on the labor or the materials, because this is reducing our profitability. We want you to come in and have some skin in the game, not be the winner above everybody else. If you're pre-framing everything with your potential investor / joint venture partner, that they have very clear understandings of what they're providing for the ability to join in. And that means, in this particular instance, not having a premium on the labor or the materials because he's a contractor. If you're going to invest the money, then your money is part of the investment, but you don't get any overage on the cost of materials or labor. That's your investment. You're putting that into the deal so that you and your partners all win, not just somebody gets 20% override and then the other partners don't get any profit. I hope that makes sense. So if they have to insist on that, and sometimes they do, then you want to create another way to protect yourselves. And that might be, hey, if you're going to get 20% on the materials and labors, you're going to get that after we get certain achievables. We're going to have some time frame achievables. You've got to have a budgetary achievable. We have to have an after repair value achievable. Whatever these metrics we choose, they can get some of that profit. Or maybe you say, look, you don't get any profit if you're going to earn the override. This is going to be a discussion you're going to have. You're going to have to negotiate this back and forth. If your person that you're negotiating with isn't willing to negotiate or to find some middle ground to help you out, I would urge you to reconsider this person, because they're not willing to really work with you. They're all out for themselves, apparently. It seems like. I don't want to mischaracterize anybody's behavior, but you're here to earn money. You're not here to feed somebody else's business unless you want to just hire this contractor, which is an option. So, you're going to refine these specifics, and you're going to get down from the 30,000, the 15,000, and then down into the, hey, we're on the tarmac and we're going to figure out the very specific things that you have to do and when you need to get them done and how much is it going to cost and what happens if you go over the budget. What happens if you get under the budget? There's a carrot and a stick situation. So you want to reward people for really doing an outstanding job. You want to make sure that people are incentivized, absolutely. But you don't want to get yourself into a situation either where somebody else is earning all of the money. I've had this happen, and it stinks because there are other investors that are or partners that are just making all the money, and you're left holding the bag. So we really want to sort of make sure that you're not getting into a situation like that, which really happens across the board, especially with new investors. So once you get all of those documents really refined and that tarmac level discussion is had, put it in writing. Get that stuff in writing, specifics. Make sure you get it signed. Then you can find the deal. Maybe you're finding the deal at the same time as you're getting all that hammered out. I urge you to make sure you're not spinning your wheels while you're trying to hammer this out, only to find that you can't get out of this situation with the project because the person isn't willing to work with you. I want to urge you to really reconsider the structure having the impact on the deal so that you're not going to lose money. I really want you to consider making certain that you're not the one holding the bag if your joint venture partner can't or won't perform. If you want to hire them, if you want to restructure something, carrots and sticks. I think that that's a good way to start. And, once you get into the agreement and you find the property, then you need to hold people to those agreements. Obviously, lumber prices increase, and there's no way to really determine that lumber prices are going to go up 80% in 7 months. You just can't figure that out. So you have to be flexible on those types of things. You need to make sure that, if you have a time frame, that you allow for the city to extend that time frame. I had a project where the city took 15 months to approve the plans. So those are the intangibles that you just don't know. So you have to create the flexibility, but you also need to make sure that whenever somebody is working, they make everything that they can work on time within budget. I would really urge everybody to just keep focusing on what are the things you want, the wish list of what do you want, what do you not want, what can you afford, what can you not afford, what do you want to pay for, what don't you want to pay for, what kind of house you want to buy, what kind of an apartment you want to buy, all of these things, and get very, very specific. So that's it for today. A very short one. Go ahead and hit subscribe below. I appreciate your participation. And I think I've got a few questions that I'm going to answer here over the next couple of days. I'm still traveling. I'm in Cincinnati. I don't know if you can see the bridge behind me. It's amazing. I'm going to be in Miami for the next few days. But thanks again for joining. I'll see you very soon.